I was devoured by the devil. He had taken control of my heart through addiction. Newly released from incarceration, destitute, and finally, diseased. In the processes of life that I've described here, I contracted hepatitis B. The doctor that treated me, I guess he thought he was doing me a favor, I don't know, told my mother, who was still thousands of miles away and terrified, moms, maybe your sons or daughters have lived the life that I've lived, but they've never looked at you and told you how sorry you are. I'm telling you, for my mother's sake, how sorry I am for you. But through my girlfriend at the time, the doctor told my mom that I was malnourished. And that's how I contracted hepatitis B. Another long story for another day about this young lady. But I contracted the disease from malnutrition, not at all. I contracted the disease from dirty needles. For 2 weeks, I did nothing but vomit and sleep. My girlfriend snuck me into her dorm room at the University of Texas at Arlington, risking her own life and the lives of everybody in the room. But I was dying. My eyeballs and my skin were jaundiced yellow. You ever seen anybody that has hepatitis? Now keep in mind, I'd spent at least 2 weeks up to that point awake. Also realize that when a meth addict is using, they can't what? You can't eat. I don't know. Something about being that wired, you can't eat. So I was already emaciated before I got sick. When those 2 weeks were over and I had finished puking and being sick, I weighed 135 pounds and I had a 26-inch waist. Imagine me right now minus 100 pounds. A little bit less than 100 pounds. Now look at me. Does that sound cool? Doesn't? No. This is the potential life that awaits you. If you do not heed the words of tonight's scripture, be sober, vigilant, guard your heart. The devil is prowling like a lion to devour you. Just like he devoured me. Does that sound cool? We have to be careful to watch for the attacks of the devil. If we're not sober, we will not be alert enough to conquer the attacks and the temptations of the devil. We won't. We will be overcome and led into sin and destruction. No believer, look at me, every one of you, no believer, not even you, no matter how young or old you are in this room, not a one of you can be alert enough to stand up against the devil if you indulge and gratify your flesh in alcohol and drugs. When your mind is altered, your guard is down. That is when the devil can attack you and can take control of your heart. When the devil controls your heart, he will speak your heart language. He will change it. I failed to guard my heart, and he did exactly that to me. I spoke for Satan with my life. Your life will speak for Satan too if you don't guard your heart. What do you need to do to guard your heart? And better yet, what do you need to guard your heart against? Because no believer, not even you, no matter how young you are or how old you are, can be alert enough to stand up against the devil if you indulge and gratify your flesh. But alcohol and drugs are not the only way to gratify your flesh. There is also sex, food, sleep, relaxation, the desire for recognition, pornography, position, clothing, possessions, power. You're beginning to see what I'm telling you? It doesn't have to be drugs and alcohol. Anything can assume the throne of the heart in your life, and it will drop your guard and you will be devoured. Are you finding gratification in any of these things, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, young men, young women? Some of you may be finding gratification in a number of these things combined together. Are these the things that you want to say with your life? Is that what you want your life to say?